The topic before us here once again is quadratic equation, and we'll be solving using the formula method. So as stated on the board, the formula for the quadratic equation is already stated on the board, and I said that the quadratic formula was derived from the completing the square method. I think in my next video I'll be showing us how the completing the square method, how we derived the quadratic formula using the completing the square method. So here we have the quadratic formula, which is x equal to minus b plus or minus b square root of b square minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, one thing we need to first of all pinpoint is this: our a, our b, our c are the coefficients of the quadratic question or quadratic equation we were given. The coefficient of x square is our a. What I mean by coefficient is the number behind the x square. Now, the coefficient of b here is what? Minus 6. Please take note of the sign behind the b, the sign behind the x. The coefficient of x square is minus 6, and then our c is the constant 8. Our a is the coefficient, which is the number at the back of our x square. Our b is the number at the back of our x, and our c is the constant 8. Now, as soon as you have identified the numbers or the coefficients of each of these questions, it's important for you to quietly, or let's say you substitute them into the quadratic formula. Our a is 1, our b is minus 6. Please take note of this, minus 6, because it's not just 6 that is standing behind it, it's minus 6. So our a is 1, our b is minus 6, our c is 8. Now, substituting it into the equation, here is what we are going to have: minus 6 plus or minus square root of open bracket minus 6 square minus 4 times 1 times 8 all over 2 times 1. Now look at this: minus times minus, the enemy of my enemy. Who would it be? Your friend, of course. So minus times minus is what? Plus. So that's why we have a positive 6 here, and then we have plus or minus sign still here. Square root of what? Minus 6 square. Minus 6 square is typically talking about what? Minus 6 times minus 6, and minus 6 times minus 6 will give us 36. On the other side, where we have minus 4 times 1, minus 4 times 1 we know is what? 4, and 4 times 8 will give us what? 32. And here we have the 32, and here we have what? Under the denominator we have 2 times 1, and our 2 times 1 is 2. Now, having done this, you have solved your problem halfway. Now let's deal with this. Now, inside the square root we have 36 minus 32, and when we subtract 36 from 32 from 36, we are going to have what? Inside the square root we are going to have 4, square root of 4. So our 6 is here from this place, and our 2 from the denominator is still there. Now when we take the square root of 4, we are going to have 2. So we have our x to be equal to 6 plus or minus 2 divided by 2. Now the plus or minus sign there indicates the operation that is supposed to take place between these two numbers. Okay, the operation that is supposed to take place between 6 and 2 is what this plus or minus indicates. So what we are going to do is to split it into 2. We split it into 2 The plus will have its parts, the minus will have its parts. It's important that you do that, because when you forget to do that, we are going to have a problem, because you are going to be given only one solution. So by the time we split the operation to plus and minus, we are going to have this part: x equal to 6 plus 2 all over 2, or our x is equal to 6 minus 2 all over 2. So 6 plus 2 gives us 8 all over 2, and then on the other hand we have 6 minus 2 all over 2. 6 minus 2 gives us what? 4. And you know that when we do the operation of 8 divided by 2, 8 divided by 2 will give us 4, and when we do the operation of 4 divided by 2, 4 divided by 2 will give us 2. So our value for what? X is equal to 4, or our x is equal to 2. So we have come to the solution to this particular question. So what do you think about the formula method?